This is the Zone Football League.
Welcome back to another episode of the Zone In podcast, where we talk everything Zone Football League across Newcastle. I'm Mason, and joining me today again, you were in a few weeks ago, but Harry from Merewether United.
Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, flip-flop, up on the table, down on the couch as a
Guest.
A guest, and now, why are we back on the couch as hosts?
Well, look, Harry, I'm very exhausted from the weekend. And I know some people will probably be saying, but how could I be exhausted?
Yeah.
The match of the round was cancelled. I didn't even play.
We didn't play. Yeah.
But you know what did exhaust me?
What's that?
I went down to the grounds and watched a couple of the games around town.
Boots on the ground sort of footy,
Boots on the ground kind of stuff. I don't need to watch it online. I just went down, supported a few of the clubs, had a look around, saw what was going on, and look, it is hard for me to get to games normally because I do play, but it was great actually getting down to some of the games and giving it a watch, supporting the clubs.
Absolutely.
And the one that struck my interest straight from the get-go was the big one.
The huge one. And we all know what we're talking about here, right?
Yeah. And that leads us straight into round review. Obviously, as we're saying, Croatia
blew us away. We were both there at the game.
We went to watch it.
Fantastic game.
Croatia Suns. Upset.
Huge upset. I wasn't expecting it. It was 4-0 before 20 minutes.
So yeah, we rocked up a little bit late, but jump out of the Curdo, straight out there, and as soon as we got to the ground, bang, Jake McGuinness, straight away, goal.
Absolute screamer.
And then to his credit, I guess, but to I'm sure a lot of people's surprise, 2 more in straight concession.
Did he end up getting 3?
Three
I didn't realise they were all his.
3 in the first 12 minutes.
That's incredible. Yeah, hats off. Hats off to you, sir.
Hats off to the hat trick.
Yeah.
And he did hit me up Saturday night to make sure I knew. And he wanted me to look into if it's the fastest hat trick in Zone League. I haven't done the research because I frankly don't think I need to. I think I'm just going to give it to him.
Let's just crown him.
That just has to be so quick. And against, it's not like you just put your best man out there up against a weaker opposition and he scores a hat trick and you're like, well, fair enough, he's done his job. He did his job against the Suns. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only win that the Suns had all day was those Kabapi rolls. You guys nailed them.
Well, true. But yeah, how crazy. The anticipation for this game, obviously, we've now started the second cycle of the season. So all the way back 12-something weeks ago, we had round 1 at number 2 Sports Ground.
Yeah. Who came away with the win there?
Croatia had it as well.
Okay.
Only just. A lot closer game. But yeah, the anticipation from that game to then lead into this, and unfortunately for the Suns,
home ground advantage. With all of their fans there. It was, I wouldn't say it was packed, but there was enough people there chanting, screaming their names.
Well, for the first 12 minutes, yes, and then I think about the first maybe 5 minutes before or after half time, few seats became available.
Wow.
But yeah, no, still definitely, as we said, great viewing out of all the games.
Definitely
put our eyes on. That was the one. But then also another upset in Zone 1 was the
Katara Warners Bay game.
Yeah, the Katara contenders for that title. But yeah, just getting pipped by Warners. Yeah, Warners Bay coming, and not only they would be coming in underdogs, but going to Nesbitt after as well. Katara making it a little fortress the other week with their Old Boys Day win.
To win?
Yeah, it was good for them. Good scenes over there at Nesbitt Park. But yeah, definitely you would have thought Warners Bay coming in not picking favourites there.
No, not at all. No, the Katara was definitely supposed to defend the kingdom, but
for sure. And with I don't know if there was missing players, miscommunication out in the field or something, but definitely Willow and his boys over at Katara would not be too happy with that. And that kind of, especially for the the season as a whole as well. Like, yeah, you can say one game doesn't make or break a season,
Well, no,
but
especially a 2-1 game. It's not like it's a monumental 6-0 loss or something like that.
But when you look at the ladder and you hear that across the way, that game got played early in the afternoon, but then later in the afternoon you see that your rival in the ladder, Croatia, getting a monumental win, that really stifles Qatar's chances at least. But look, you can't say that Croatia have been crowned already.
Oh, not even close. It's only the first week of the second cycle, Mason. I think you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself. Give them some time. It's one game.
But if
one game, Mason.
If this keeps happening to Qatar, it could just be Croatia's one and done. First season in Zone 1 could be their last because they're just going to go straight up.
Well, it would be impressive if they had 2 promotions straight away.
Well,
But
exactly.
let's not get ahead of ourselves, Mason.
No, that's it. And that's the other thing as well. Like, I don't have anything against Qatar, nothing against Croatia. But when you do look at Croatia's lower ranked results, so reserve grade and third grade on the weekend, getting losses against Suns, I think I've said it before with Wilson and CT that you've got to question what backup does Croatia have in terms of the youth. Obviously not a big club being only fresh, but their youth system. Like, I was down at Smith Park on Sunday then.
Yep.
The community state champs has just kicked off training and everything. The talent that's coming through Newcastle with young players, both female and male, it's something that all clubs really need to start looking at.
Starting investing in their future because, you're going to get some older people, and once they filter outside of the club, where are they going to turn to? Are they going to try and buy more players, or can you really do that? And, is it just better off to hire from within?
Well, that's the thing, and that's what we're trying to encourage, I think. Everyone should be encouraging, but especially as the Zone League model is to try and look within your clubs and try and give that promotion and reward to the younger players coming through your club. The community state champs, for those who don't know, definitely look into it, but it's definitely something that Newcastle football, at least, I know, are doing quite well and trying to promote that youth system, which in turn should benefit clubs in the long run. Absolutely. More quality players from a younger age. That's what we want, right? Exactly right. Moving into the results from Zone 2. Once again, we're talking about the two boys at the top, Crabs and Northern Wolves. A couple of weeks ago, you probably could have mentioned Bulwarra in that top rankings, but unfortunately they have kind of slipped. A little bit of a drop-off since the podcast, so I don't know if this is a bad luck omen coming on here. I hope not. No, but, please, still, any clubs that haven't come on yet, it's not. We're not cursed. Please come and sit in the lounge and have a chat to us. Absolutely. But unfortunately, Bulwarra going down 1-0 to the Crabs on the weekend. Obviously, Crabs just clinical. The scoreline, I'm not sure what the story was on the day, but they've normally got a few goals in them. But to hold them to 1-0, and especially after a few losses, maybe that's not that bad. No, and maybe that's what the Crabs were going out cautiously into that game, thinking not to belittle or doubt Bulwarra's talent and what they possess. I just said we had the boys on here from Bulwarra a couple of weeks ago. Dylan was here. Seemed like a knock-around bloke, but sounded like when he's on the field, he's pretty lethal. Yeah. So maybe Crabs just went out knowing that they've got to isolate a few players out of the game. But we also had Crabs on a couple of weeks ago, and they've got quality of their own. We know what they're like. Well, yeah. Storming ahead, though. As we're saying as well then, North United Wolves with a 2-1 over Cooks Hill. Yeah, that's a top of the table, almost top of the table clash, is it not? We're at Cooks Hill. Cooks Hill aren't doing too great as you'd normally expect them to be. But once again, just the top teams proving why they're the top teams. When it comes down to a 1-goal margin, 3 points at the end of the day is 3 points, and that's what adds up at the end of the season.
Winner, someone goes home a loser.
Well, exactly. And look, we are focusing on the positives of the results. So looking then at the two new guys, both getting wins in Zone 2 this week. Nelson Bay, fresh off a 8-1 win. They'd be, I'm sure,
pretty stoked about that. Rolling.
I'm sure going back to the pub would have been a bit of a rowdy one for them,
Nice.
and after the drive home from Mayfield. But and then Lambton Jaffers doing it at home against South Maitland, which on the flip side, South Maitland, bit of a long drive back after.
There's definitely some head noise going on there.
For sure, after
boys felt it this week.
What is been a bit of a long start to their season as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two newly promoted teams, Jaffers and the Bay, proving why they were promoted, why they deserve to be there, and why they probably deserve to stay in Zone 2.
Absolutely, if not get promoted into Zone 1. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Seems like that's happening quite a lot. These new teams are attracting some really, really good talent.
Well, yeah, and
it's definitely the excitement that's bringing in the new people, I think.
For sure. The whole point of the promotion relegation, giving these clubs and giving other players then to come to the clubs a reason. It's not just week by week win games, lift a trophy at the end of the season, see you next. It's more of a drive now, which is good.
Very exciting.
Yeah, and once again, Zone 3, looking like a similar situation now. The front runners really just putting their foot down, proving why they're on top, getting business done, with Curry back into form with a 3-1 win over Barnsley.
Yep.
Greeter,
3-0.
once again, clinical. Greeter scoring goals, not conceding goals, doing their job. Also, Southern Lakes getting a 3-0 win over Fletcher as well. So those three teams still just absolutely battling it out at the top of that Zone 3 table. But one team that is just sneaking into that top finals placement is Medowie. And boy, did they do it with a bit of a statement on the weekend.
7-3.
7-3 against Rutherford.
That's a lot of goals. That is goal fever.
Well, exactly. I guess you just throw the defensive tactics out the door, and why not when you've obviously got some quality.
When you've got blokes that can score,
blokes up top. And hey, I'm just assuming they're up top, but hey, one of the centre backs, like yourself, being tall, go up for a corner. But yeah, no, the defensive duties were definitely not in play on that on the weekend in that game for sure.
Yeah, well, on the flip side, I think you should go up to Medowie and go learn a thing or two from them, because obviously they can score. We can all shoot one from outside the 18 every now and then, but these boys seem to have it real wrapped up.
Well, fair enough. Maybe I can learn a thing or two. I just I'm a team player, so I like to just share it around at the end of the day.
How many assists you got this year?
We don't count assists. But yeah, that was the round review for round 12 of the Zone League season.
It's good to see that we're getting a few more games. I know when I came in, 3 weeks ago, we had 4 teams to review.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to pick which games to review because there wasn't many to review at all.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting when we have a weekend where every single team plays and there's just a lot going on. There's table movement and there's people solidifying their spot. And hey, consistency.
That could have been this weekend, except we screwed it up. We didn't get to play. We're the only game didn't play. Yeah, look, it happens.
Sorry, Zone Football. We apologise to you all.
Look, on behalf of Zone Football, it's fine. Just wanted to take a minute to thank all of our great sponsors of the Zone In podcast. We have Deploy Football, the leading developers and manufacturers of performance sporting solutions, not only just including our awesome balls, and also sportswear with all of our grassroots clubs in helping them design and produce amazing apparel. One of our other major sponsors, Solved Marketing. If you want your problems solved are the ones to go with. Helping businesses, brands solve complex challenges with ingenuity and creative solutions. Solved Marketing is our go-to agency for all of our marketing needs, and we cannot recommend them enough. And finally, Harry Schnitzel Joint. You guys know every week, Man of the Match is presented with the Harry Snitzel Award. Definitely go check Harry Snitzel out. And we know that all the Man of the Match recipients have been so excited to get their Harry Snitzel Man of the Match Award and get down to Harry Snitzel joint. Just from Zone Football League, and speaking on behalf of Bar TV as well, as they are a partner of the league, they're not particularly in control of anything. That is left up to the joint zones and myself and the admins of that. There's a few questions and contention about what the match of the round, or how the match of the round's decided, and most clubs understood from the start, but maybe not. We haven't given the right directive to the fans. Yeah. So we just want to touch base on that. That match of the round, in its sense of the word, some think is like the best game, but
it's predetermined, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
So at the start of the year, clubs were given the opportunity to reach out for them to host games. So, for instance, the most recent ones off the top of my mind, you had Mayfield Seniors. They had their Old Boys Day. They'd love to get that filmed. Yep. Went out to Nesbitt recently, Katara, their Old Boys Day. Merriweather United on the weekend. They'd reached out a couple weeks back, being that they love the initiative that Zone Football League's doing with all the stuff, and that they wanted to jump on board and like promote the club broader as well. Same with Medawi and all the other games that we've had and are coming up. It was all voluntary from the clubs. Myself and Chris Brain, the general manager of Newcastle Football, wanted to let the clubs be in control, and then from there we'd fill in the blanks. But yeah, it's just, look, the basis is less about what the best football would be, and look, in maybe next year or years to come, that might be the way that we do it. But being the first year,
it's getting everyone out on the field, getting everyone a chance to be filmed.
Promote your club, promote your players, and look, that's what we're trying to promote as well. The new age of Zone Football League, creating legacies and everything like that, getting people the recognition that they may not normally have, or people might think that the only way they get that recognition is from higher leagues. So yeah, we just thought we'd touch on that, and that goes across all stuff we do, our Facebook and Instagram, social media, the podcast, the Bar TV Match of the Round. And as I say, please don't attack Bar TV for anything that happens, as unfortunately some comments have come up. Bar TV are a partner of the Zone Football League, and don't actually have any control over the games per se, or the choosing of them.
They're just told where to turn up and where to film.
Yeah, exactly. And
then the boys just turn up and commentate.
By God, all of them do a good job.
Yeah.
We've loved having Bar TV on. They've been so helpful, supportive, and yeah, we don't see any problem with them, and we'd love to have them on for a long time. And yeah, hopefully as this new age of Zone Football League does develop, we might be able to get multiple games on a weekend, which is great. But that all comes down to the club's support, promoting, the players promoting, and the fans. Realistically, yes, we're all going out there to play sport and have a run around, but we also do it for the people that don't have a run anymore and just want to actually watch the game. So yeah, just touching on that. Bit more of a brighter note though. Coming out this week, we're almost at the cutoff point of signings for the season. But look, some clubs are still making a sneaky move or two.
Yeah, trying to get that little final person.
Yeah, look, and whether it's trying to just bolster up their squad last minutes, or unfortunate injuries that they've got to replace and such. But yeah, we'll it's still 2 weeks. 2 weeks till the Zone Football League transfer window closes, as they say in the footballing world. And yeah, coming out this week, we've got 2 little rumours. We can't say that they're confirmed yet.
Can't we?
But good sources definitely tell us. One of the ones I'd scouted out myself is Jack Reed Jones, from Olympic NPL. I did see it from Olympics official account that they were saddened to see Jack leave, and they announced that he'll be joining Katara South ZFL, which is great for us, great for the league.
Yeah, but I wonder what the Olympic ZFL is thinking.
Well, yeah.
Why wouldn't he go through there?
Exactly. I'm not sure. He has said, though, that he's spent a long time at Olympic, at the club itself. And he said he has a special place in his heart for the club, but at his current time, he just wants to go play with mates. And, his mates are at Katara.
Can't blame them.
But, yeah, surely you would think Olympic would have tried to do everything they could, whether to keep him in the NPL or just have him play at ZFL.
I know there's a lot of boys in the ZFL Olympic that are from NPL and they've recently come.
Yeah.
So he's definitely got mates there, but if your heart lies at Katara, can't blame the man.
Yeah, that's
Great
it.
spot to be.
100%. And yeah, maybe on the flip side then, for Katara's perspective, we were speaking about them earlier with their unfortunate result on the weekend. Maybe that is what they're looking at, trying to bolster their squad, keep their title hopes alive. And definitely someone like Jack coming in,
When does he play on the pitch?
in the centre of the park, I believe. So maybe Katara's getting him in there, pull a couple strings, maybe play off the back of Zach Pfeiffer.
Yeah, because they do have a very dominant midfield.
Yeah, exactly.
So to be bringing someone in like that is... I wonder who's going to get the cut.
Well...
Or be moved. Maybe not the cut.
Yeah, no. When we had Katara on, Willow was saying that their squad rotation is quite healthy. So, yeah, look, that's definitely a big coup for Katara and for our league as well. And the other one as well, Cal Thornton from Valentine NPL, another NPL player coming to the Zone Football League, again joining into the Zone 1 with Westlakes.
Yeah, got to think of it's a pretty interesting choice. Don't know if he lives out there. It's quite the commute. And the quality of play out there is going to be quite different to what he's used to in the NPL, obviously.
Well, yeah, like a struggling team, Westlakes, unfortunately for them. But yeah, maybe that's their ploy. Strengthening their squads. Not sure what Cal's situation is, why he's leaving the NPL, and as you say, whether he lives near Westlakes for him to choose that. Maybe mates again. But yeah, definitely an experienced player coming out of the NPL. And yeah, that can't be anything bad for Westlakes.
No, not at all.
Definitely going to be great. Hopefully kickstart their season back into gear, because currently they're looking like being in a bit of a relegation scrap.
Ooh, maybe he can give them the direction they need just to give them that boost off the bottom.
Definitely, for sure. Finally, wrapping out this episode, we'll preview this weekend's Round 13 Bar TV Match of the Round, which sees Warners Bay hosts Olympic out at John Street Oval, Sunday 2:30 kickoff. We've spoken about both these teams already in this episode, but Warners Bay especially coming off that win against Katara. They'll definitely be coming out firing, and Olympic struggling a little at the moment, but maybe this is the best way to find their form versus a team in form.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing these two teams and playing last year in the reserve squad, it was definitely great to watch the first game. It was a really, really good, tough match. And I know last year the boys really enjoyed it, so hopefully again they have another great year.
Yeah, for sure. And especially being at John Street Oval, nice part of the world down there, right on the lake.
Yep.
Bit picturesque. Definitely. Sunday Arvo as well. Not as many games of Zone League get played on Sunday, so definitely recommend, if you can get down there, go support Warners Bay or Olympic if you are fans of those two teams. And if you're not, maybe just a fan of football.
Yeah, get down there. Go and have a look.
For sure. That wraps us up for this week's episode of Zone In Podcast. Look, it was a good weekend of football. As I said, looking forward to this upcoming game and the round itself.
Absolutely.
Sweet. We'll see you next week.
Signing off.
Bye.
This is the Zone Football League.